Hey everyone, a nerd named Mark here. New camera style setup. Really, I'm just testing some shit out, honestly. But I'm here to talk about episode 19 of Kamen Rider Gavv. Great episode. We got Vram's backstory, which I kind of theorized maybe it was a younger sibling. That turns out to be the case. Um, a lot of there's so much backstory and little things here and there. I really enjoyed the continuation of the last episode. Hanto got the brakes beat off of him by Vram. It led to, Shoma being like, well, I can't bring him to the hospital. So he uses one of his gochizos to follow the Chakodan one, and it brings him to Suga, or Shuga, who is all but, well, concerned, but also happy because he basically figured out that Shoma is Kamen Gavv. And one of the things that was a big seed plant was, Shoma's wiping the blood off his face and he was kind of trying to like hide, the napkin and everything. But Juga's like, oh, I'm gonna make coffee. You want? He's like, no, it's fine. He's like, it's okay. And he goes to like pat him on the shoulder and takes a hair follicle. I feel like this is setting up not even leaks because everything's up for pre-order. We've seen the poster. I feel like that's gonna be the lead up to the bitter Gabu. I don't know if it's going to be like a clone type thing, Shuga becoming that. I don't know, but he has Shoma's DNA. So it's anybody's game, anybody's guess what exactly he's going to do with that. But basically, Hanto's on the sidelines for the rest of the episode, recovering. And, one of the things too, I love no story point has been abandoned because Takesha, who was one of the kids that was kidnapped in a previous episode, that Sachika and Shoma overheard. When Shoma goes back home, Sachika is like, "Oh, there's no more wind gust anymore," so she assumes everyone was freed and rescued, including Takesha. But that's not the case. He wasn't a part of the group that would press that Shoma rescued. So this led to a nice little kind of montage of Shoma. Like, we never really saw this sense of urgency and like frantic nature from him, of him just running around, going to previous locations we've seen in the episodes that were like safe houses where they'd meet up with their pressed humans to kind of retrieve them, and they were all abandoned, all the spots. And it's just luckily that we got to see Lage 9 walking, and Shomas followed him and stopped him from capturing a college lecture room full of people, which led to some great fighting. We got the the hero and villain duo henshin with a little split screen of the face. I'm always a fan of stuff like that. Um, but the main bread and butter of this was Ram's backstory, which led to, you know, him asking Shoma, and he also figured out because he tried to take the driver from him that it's a part of his stomach. He's like, "Oh, the red Gabu was literal," and he instantly assumed that he was the hitman for Stomach Inc. And Ram's whole backstory was basically he was about a year ago, nobody, just working with his young, and it was just him and his younger brother. We see how good of an older brother he was, splitting the bread, the bigger piece, trying to get to the little brother, but little brother's like, no, no, it's fine. But this led to the money's been missing. He catches his younger brother, and we find out his younger brother got addicted to dark convections, and ultimately led to him being killed. And Lage 9 all but says it's because he was probably stealing them because he didn't have the money. My thing about all of this was we didn't waste any time with figuring out his motivations, where he stands. One of the things too is, Stomach Inc. They have no idea about him because they're all sitting around. Longo and Glota and Nelv, and even Nelv was just like kind of, oh, there's a third Granite Hunter, and he's kind of just, nonchalant listening in. I'm curious because he seems so far removed from everything Stomach Inc. is trying to accomplish. Like all his motivations, everything else seems so separated, but we don't know what they are fully. So I can't wait to finally figure out what exactly his end game goals are. Obviously, Ram's right now is he wants to get close to Stomach Inc. and get his revenge, which leads to, Shoma even explaining, hey, I didn't kill your brother. I'm not the Granite Hunter. That's just the label they gave me. He's like, I want to stop them. And even then, he says, like the whole fighting thing, like Vram was beating the shit out of him, okay? Vram was kicking that ass. And I was like, damn, like, I'm, there's something like great about the fight choreographs and everything else, but like just Vram always sitting either near or on either like Valen or Gavv is always just so disrespectful, but like badass for the moments because he always sits there and has something to say. I do enjoy this dynamic. Obviously, he didn't join them right away, which I thought was really like a good move. Not to have him be like, oh, he debuted 2 episodes later. Now he's on their team. I didn't watch the preview for next week's episode, so I'm not fully sure what's going to happen in that. But I did like their moment, like Vram being so just driven and angry. And then even his finishing attack that almost took out Shoma. But it was more or less like him once he finds out that moment where he's like, aha, like I'm not Shoma's like, I'm not the Grand Hunter. I didn't work for them. I would never listen to any when he said I would never take orders from them, that was kind of like the light bulb, like what's really going on here. This also is hinting me up. What's Hanto gonna think about all this? Because there's still that whole thing where Hanto doesn't know Shoma's like part Granu, part of the Stomach family. So that's gonna be just that. I'm waiting for that. That's going to be just insane whenever that comes to light. Also, whatever moment Sachika finds out that they're the Kamen Riders, like that's gonna be good too. All in all, just a really good episode. I like once again the pacing, like we're not, and I feel like I always say that every time I review an episode, but we're not getting these like long drawn out like things. What's happening, what's really going on, give me some answers. We're getting enough every episode with the pacing where nothing feels dragged out. Like, yeah, certain things are building up to, like I said, Hanto discovering Shoma's part Granu, that's going to be a big deal. But there's so much, like everything seems to get, a lot of the questions get answered. Like everyone's like, "Oh, what's Vram's motivation?" Now we know, and it's only been 2 or 3 episodes, so it's. I like that we're not we're not getting a whole bunch of breadcrumbs leading nowhere. We're getting little stops along the way. Hey, look, this now you have all your information. Now let's focus on these other questions you have, and I'm really enjoying that about this show. It feels it, it's such a tonal shift in from recent Kamen Rider shows. I try not to do the whole comparison to previous seasons. I'm not going to compare this to Gotchard or Geeds or anything like that. But it is a nice shift, and obviously I've been buying a good amount of the merch. I'm actually just finished up with the Soto set 2 for Gavv, which was really good. I have to review a video for that still. But yeah, that's it for this. Just a quick video going over episode 19. It is delayed here in San Diego on the news. If anyone saw, there were some fires. I worked close to one of them and lived near another one. Luckily, they were contained, but we did get some. While I was at work, my wife was like packing up, like in case we were going to get an evacuation. It was getting within the single digit miles away from us. You could depending on which way I would have took home, I could have probably seen the fire. So that's why this is all delayed. I was going to do a community post like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to come home from work and worry about doing this video. My number one priority is the safety of my wife and my cats. Um, the joke was, I was like, what do I do? Like, I have a lot of toku merch. What do we save? Like, besides the blade stuff, obviously, and the great Kamen Rider Ghost helmet from Stickosaurus. But other than that, I was like, yeah, gonna have to delay all content because this is a top priority, safety and everything else. The fires, there's been California, Southern California in general, a lot of fires lately. So yeah, that's why this is delayed. But I do thank you guys for watching, and also everyone who's been subscribing. I passed 1,400 subs, and then I've gone up a good amount since then as well. So I appreciate all of you for that. But if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. I do have some other content I will be working on, some more YouTube shorts for quicker content and everything else. But that's it for the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode, and I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.